Hey guys, Grifton here, and today we are talking about feral cat rotation, including Bearweaving. Before we get started, if you like these videos, please take the time to like and subscribe as it really helps me out. Also, if you want to see me test all of this live, you can follow me on twitch.tv/griftonish or just keep an eye out as I stream on YouTube as well. Okay, legal junk over, let's talk cat rotation. Now, calling it a rotation isn't really true as there is no cycle of spells. Instead, it's more of a flowchart. In fact, back in the day, elitist churches made that, and this is it. Actually put it on the screen for you. I'll also link it in the description below if you want to fully understand how this rotation should work. It uses a lot of cool logic in there. But to simplify it, I broke it into 3 parts to easily follow. Now, first part is the opener, the start of the fight where you want to get all of your debuffs up and cooking. Now you're going to open with Fairy Fire if it's your job. If you've got a Boomkin, obviously it's their job to do it, so don't worry about it. And then you're going to go Mangle, Shred, Savage Roar. Now the reason you're just going to put 2 combo points up is because you don't need the full Savage Roar just yet. Savage Roar doesn't have a scale with it, it just has a time limit. So if you only put 1 point of Savage Roar, you're still going to get the full buff. You're only going to get a shorter period of it though. So for this particular cycle, we want to get Rake and Rip up as soon as possible, and for us to do that, we first need Savage Roar up so they benefit from it. So we're going to go Mangle, Shred, Savage Roar. Now, if your Mangle crits and you get double combo points, instead you can do Savage Roar, Shred. That way the Shred benefits from the Savage Roar. If you're not too worried about it, just do Mangle, Shred, Savage Roar. Alright, then we're going to go into Tiger's Fury and Berserk. Great combination. This is going to increase your energy almost to full, and you're going to get Berserk, which is going to reduce your energy cost by half. So then you're going to apply your Rake, and you start shredding until you get 5 combo points, and then apply Rip, giving you both of your bleeds. Then you're going to continue to shred, and if Rake falls off, you're going to want to reapply it. But once you get 5 combo points, you're going to apply Savage Roar. Now, you don't have to apply Savage Roar right away. You can hit the 5 combo points and keep going if you want to try to stagger the time between Rip and Savage Roar a little bit more effectively. We'll talk about this in a later slide. But yeah, then you're going to just continue to shred until your Berserk falls off. And at this point, you should be having Fairy Fire, Mangle, Savage Roar, Rake, and Rip all up, and Berserk and Tiger's Fury should both be on cooldown, and you should be low on energy. This is a perfect time to go into the second section or part, which I call Bearweaving. Now, if you don't want to bear weave, you could probably skip it, you'll be fine. If you're trying to min-max, this might be the way to go. It's a tricky system just because timing's got to be pretty good, but I think it's worth trying. So here's how I'm gonna explain how to do it. Try it out, let me know how it goes. Now this is also going to depend on a talent called Fearer. If you only have 3 of 5 or 4 of 5, it's going to be a little bit different than if you have 5 of 5. So if you have 3 of 5 or 4 of 5, that means you only have a 60 or 80% chance of getting extra rage when you shift into bear form. So if you shift into bear form regularly with enrage available, you're going to go bear, enrage, mangle, and then if you've got that 10 points, you're going to try to fit them all in. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you can just skip that part. But then you'll want to go immediately back to cat form. You never want to go over 60 energy, especially with 3 of 5, because as your energy continues to tick while you're in bear form, once it hits 60, it will stop, and you don't ever want your energy ticking to stop, so you want to get back quickly to continue it going. Now with 5 of 5 Fear, what you're going to do is the same thing, except you're going to guarantee that you can get a maul. So you're going to do bear, enrage, mangle, maul, and then cat. Now you can do that every minute because of enrage's cooldown is 1 minute, but if you're trying to do it every 30 seconds or so because you want to keep your mangle up, so that's something I want to point out. One of the really great benefits of Bearweaving is you never have to refresh mangle using energy if you're using Bearweaving every 30 or even 15 seconds. Because mangle is the main thing you're casting, the mangle debuff will continue to stay, and you don't have to waste any energy on it in cat form. So if you're doing something like that and you've got no enrage up, if you're 5 of 5, you'll go bear, mangle, cat. Now, if you are 3 of 5 or 4 of 5 and you want to try it to, try to get lucky with the 60 or 80% chance of getting your extra rage, you can do that. But as soon as you get into form and you see you have no rage, you want to switch immediately back to cat because it's better damage to be in cat form than it is to bear form doing white damage. But that's it. That's all there is to Bearweaving. There is a macro. I will put it in my Discord so you can check it out and grab it if you want to try it out, or do what I do and just manually do it. It's not too bad. Okay, so now let's talk about maintenance. So whether or not you do Bearweaving or not, you're going to end up having to do maintenance, which is just keeping everything up. You've got all the buffs up from your opener, and now you just have to maintain them. So something you want to keep up 100% of the time, or the three things, are Savage Roar, Mangle, and Fairy Fire. Now again, Fairy Fire, if it's not your responsibility, you can ignore this. Now Savage Roar and Mangle, and Fairy Fire for that matter, they can be reapplied even when they're not fully off the cooldown, which is really handy when we talked about the combo point timing in a second. But feel free to reapply them whenever you get a chance. Now, as far as Rip and Rake go, I put 99% here because you actually want them to fall off, because you want that final tick of Rip and Rake. So as soon as Rip falls off, you're going to reapply it, but not before that, because you want that final tick. Same thing with Rake. Rake's less of a priority for me. Yes, it still does decent damage, but if you have to pick something to let fall off, Rip's gonna go first. Or sorry, Rake's gonna go first. Okay, now let's talk combo point timing. And this is a little bit more advanced, but it's kind of important to understand. And then as you get better at your kind of juggling act, you'll pay more attention to this. So Savage Roar has a 34-second 5 combo point time cycle. So 34 seconds is a pretty solid amount of time. Rip is 22 seconds if you have both glyphs. If you also have the tier 7, it's up to 26 seconds. Now, because of them both requiring combo points because they're finishing moves, you have to take turns running them, and because of that, you want to try to time when to reapply Savage Roar because it has the longer cooldown. So instead of waiting until Savage Roar drops off, you can reapply it early, or maybe wait just to the last second. What I've found for my particular gear is that when I see my Rip at about 14 to 16 seconds, like 15 seconds really, I try to reapply my Savage Roar, assuming that I have the combo points. Now that only is going to really be effective for my gear set, because as you get better gear with more crit, it's not going to be as crucial to maintain it, because you'll easily be able to generate the amount of combo points you need to easily be able to reapply these. But right now, with less crit ability and things like that and misses, you're going to struggle to get combo points in the first place, so you want to keep these as far apart as possible so that you can constantly be switching them and reapplying them using the new combo points. Again, 14 to 16, asterisk right there, because it's going to change. It's going to depend on your gear, and you need to figure out what this is if you're trying to maximize those two debuffs. Okay, now that is everything for single target, and yes, that is complicated. Take it all in. If you don't take in this kind of visual effectively, I went ahead and did a quick write-up on my Discord as well, so you can read through it anytime you want to reference it. I think it's called like Feral Cat Discussion. You can find it in there. But now let's talk about AOE rotation. It's actually pretty simple, especially if you're used to the single target rotation, because it has the same opener. Again, you're going to Fairy Fire, Mangle, Shred, Savage Roar, and the reason you're doing that again is because you just want Savage Roar up, especially for swipe, because Savage Roar works for swipe too. You'll feel the urge to just go in and start swiping when you see a group of mobs, but even if you only put one combo point and one Savage Roar and then do a Tiger's Fury Berserk, it's going to be more beneficial. Now, if you can do 2 combo points or even get a crit on your Mangle Shred on either one of them, and then place your Savage Roar, you're going to have it up the whole time you're running Berserk. Now, if you're running into a group and you're not necessarily facing the back of them, which is more common with clusters, you can skip the Shred and just do a double Mangle or a Mangle Rake or something like that. Just something to get that combo point going so that you can do the Savage Roar. So once you Savage Roar, you're going to Tiger's Fury into Berserk and then swipe, 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 swipe until you run out. You will run out of energy before you run through Berserk, and you'll just be waiting for energy to tick and hit it again. Once Berserk's dropped, you pretty much just wait for your energy. I would recommend, if the fight is lasting that long, you want to reapply Savage Roar. You want to pick one target, put a couple combo points on them, kind of estimate how long the fight's going to last, and then reapply the Savage Roar and swipe, 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 swipe again. But that's it for AoE. It's actually pretty easy and a lot of fun, especially when you get to pop that Tiger's Fury Berserk on a swipe. man, the numbers are awesome. Yeah, but that's it. So that's the single target, that's the AOE rotation. Just some quick tips. I always bind my trinket to my berserk. It just makes the most sense for me. And same thing, I actually put a haste pod in there too. It just, because that's the point where I really just want a ton of stuff. You don't have to do that, that's just a small tip. If you have any questions or suggestions on how to improve this rotation, throw it in the comments. I would love to, you know, see new ways and new metas pop up here and there. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and as always, take care.